Hello and welcome to the latest Progress Wrestling Hype Show. I'm Jonas from the Wrestling with Jonas podcast, and joined as always by my co-host, my good friend, the man behind the scenes, the man behind the mic, Mike Mad Dog Angus. Mike, how you doing? It's only been a few days since we saw each other in the ballroom for that fantastic heavy metal show, Chapter 151. But great to see you again, my friend. How are you doing?
Yeah, great stuff, Jonas. Brilliant to see you. And thanks so much for all your hard work at the show on Sunday. It was wonderful to welcome you to the ballroom. And we're so grateful for you helping us out on the merch stand on Sunday. That was some amazing
I've
stuff
seen
from you there,
T-shirts
Jonas.
in my dreams that night.
That's it.
But it's great fun, and what an incredible show. We're going to touch on some of the highlights from Chapter 151 Heavy Metal very, very soon. But we are here, of course, to hype up, to talk about, to preview the matches that have already been announced for Chapter 152 for the love of progress. Sponsored by Monopoly Events, of course, this coming Friday. So just around the corner, Friday the 28th of April from the BEC Arena in Manchester. And it's all in conjunction with For the Love of Wrestling, of course. But on Friday evening, you get there for 7 p.m. and you've got yourself a Progress Wrestling show. So really, really exciting show that we're going to be talking about very, very soon. But let's kind of think back to Sunday then, Mike, and an absolute packed electric ballroom, filled to capacity. It was standing room only, or barely standing room only. You had to be kind of on somebody's shoulders to see the action from the far ends. But an incredible atmosphere. So many wonderful matches. That really hot opener, which we'll talk about, and of course, who could forget that wonderful main event with the steel cage, Cara Noir, Spike Trivet, the Progress World Heavyweight Championship, and the emotions and the action and the drama that night. You could cut it with a knife, Mike.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And we'd just like to thank, obviously, all the fans who made it down to the Electric Ballroom in Camden on Sunday. Absolutely packed house. And, the atmosphere didn't drop at all for the whole show. Everyone, even when we had a few little bits where we were getting the cage set up and we had to open a little bit later, everyone was so kind and well behaved, and everyone had a great time. And when we had a little extra interval just to put the cage up, everybody moved out the way, let us put the cage up. They were buzzing about it, and the excitement was palpable in there on Sunday, and it was just great atmosphere. The whole place was buzzing. And when it's like that in an absolute packed house, you see the excitement levels just go up even higher than normal. And it's, it was such a special show for Progress Wrestling. And, Chapter 151 will live long in the memories, Jonas, especially for yourself, who, you said to me before one of your favorite matches was the opening contest. What about that was, four absolutely brilliant wrestlers. And what a surprise as well to see Robbie X back in the ballroom. What a talent that guy is. And, all four in that opening bout delivered massively. Great to see Leo Rush as always, and Danny Black and Leon Slater in that one as well.
The action was just
exciting opening bouts.
Frantic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was just madness, especially that over the top from Leon. Leo Rush isn't looking forward to that boot landing in his face there.
But it was one of the hottest openers I think I've seen in a long, long time. And like I say, four tremendous individuals. And of course, Robbie X making his return to a Progress ring alongside, as you said, Danny Black and Leon Slater and Leo Rush, of course. And what a bout of an opener. And of course, that's just one of many matches that we saw on Sunday that we drop in on demand very, very soon. And of course, I've got a little ticker there that will remind you to go to Progress on Demand and get your 2-week free trial, Mike. So great value for money. You get to see Chapter 151 when it drops, all the previous Progress chapters as well, including other promotions from around the world. G-Money's Darth Lad Emporium, Chapter 150, all the great action that's been had in a Progress ring in 2023 already. Get your 2 weeks free trial. Just go to progresswrestling.com/watch. Just go to the website. It guides you through it and get your 2 weeks free trial today. You will not regret it. And Chapter 151 will be dropping on demand very, very soon. And of course, running along the bottom of the screen now is a reminder to get your tickets for Super Strong Style, which is not too far around the corner. And we've got some announcements at the end of this show regarding some names that were dropped in the ballroom on Sunday regarding who will be the first 1, 2, and 3 entrants in Super Strong Style tournament this year. Simply get your tickets. Go to progresswrestling.com/tickets. There's going to be bundle tickets there for the 27th, the 28th, and 29th of May. You can get them individually if you can only make 1 or 2 of the dates. Of course, we're at the Dome in Tufnell Park on Saturday the 27th, and then back in the Electric Ballroom for Sunday the 28th and Monday the 29th.
Jonas, if you're going to get involved, you might as well come for the whole weekend, mate, and then make a party of it. We've even got WXW coming all the way over from Germany to join us. I'm sure you can come for the whole weekend, John.
That's my aim. That's my aim. And absolutely. But we encourage you to get the bundle ticket, of course. Don't be that guy that misses out, because I can guarantee you, if you miss out on one of the 3 nights, you're going to be scratching your head. What happened last night? Why did I miss it out? You're going to miss out on some tremendous action. So come for all 3 nights. You will not regret it. And 3 nights of tremendous action from Progress Wrestling. But also this past Sunday, we also saw the neglected to bring up the picture of Simon Miller, who made his return to ring announcing duties in a Progress ring. And then, of course, we had.
Hey, I like that new hat he had on there. That's the new one, the camouflage Super Strong Style hat. Very snappy. And I noticed as well that he's sporting the. He's chosen to wear the Black Swan version of the T-shirt, and then the next photo you're about to put up, Jonas, he's wearing the Vulture one. Yes, so I was chatting to them backstage briefly, and they were. Bullet was not happy that Simon was wearing that T-shirt. I tell you, he took exception to that.
Absolutely. I did wonder whether there was going to be a little bit of a tussle between the two of them, but so cooler heads prevailed as far as Simon Miller was concerned, and Bullet cut a fantastic promo on the Progress Faithful. And then, of course, we had Session Moth Martina against LA Taylor, but there was shenanigans, as you would expect. Another tremendous match. From 2 of the finest female performers in the UK. But that was another match you have to look out for when it drops on demand. And then, of course, we had the Sunshine Machine came out, and they have thrown down a challenge. They will have been Progress World Tag Team Champions 1 year come Super Strong Style in May. And they've thrown down the challenge to former champions, Smoking Aces. So they're, like I say, looking forward to celebrating their 1 year anniversary at Strong Style against a former foe there, Mike.
Yeah, and a really exciting piece of information that I heard this week. I noticed the guys from Wrestling Should Be Fun brought a cricket bat for Chuck Mambo because he was 99 and not out. So he got his cricket bat on Sunday off them, and then that means it's going to be on Friday. Even it's going to be his 100th match of Progress, so that's huge. Wow. So looking forward to that. So that'll be on Friday's show for Love of Progress. So a big moment for Chuck Mambo there, who's made the most appearances for Progress, I believe, on there out of all the talent on the roster. Yeah, so that's interesting.
That's wonderful. Absolutely.
But you mentioned about Demand Progress as well, Jonas. Just to mention, you definitely check out Progress, obviously, on there. And recently as well, TNT Extreme Wrestling from Liverpool has been added onto there. And also just this week, Infamous Wrestling from, I believe they're based up in Runcorn, has been added onto there. Myself and Lee McAteer went to their first show that they did. And we always try and attend them if we can. And that's been added onto Demand Progress as well. So there's all sorts of different stuff for you to check out there. So make sure you sign up while you can. Get the 2 weeks for free, and make sure to catch up with everything you've missed. If you've missed any of the shows, or if you just want to watch back and check yourself out in the crowd, that's the way forward. And as John has mentioned, it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen right there. But LA Taylor and Session Moth was a match me and you had spoke about last week, Jonas, that we were really excited by, and it didn't disappoint at all. It was absolutely brilliant contest, and LA Taylor proved she is one of the toughest in the division. But as well, she did have a little bit of help from them 2 troublemakers, the other members of the Lana Austin Experience.
We did predict that, didn't we? We did say that could possibly happen, but it's a Super Strong Style around the corner. I think there's some comeuppance to be had for the Lana Austin Experience, and of course Manchester even sooner than that. And then of course we had Mike Bird going up against the spectacular one, Charles Crowley, and what a fantastic match they had. The crowd were really into this, and Crowley as entertaining as ever. Another fantastic match between Mike Bird, one of the best professional wrestlers in the UK, and likewise Crowley. The progression that he's made over the last couple of years on the UK scene has been phenomenal. One of the best acts in all of British independent wrestling for sure.
Absolutely spectacular, and the pair of them had an absolutely brilliant match. The technical know-how of Baird and some of the, just the way he interacts with the crowd himself as well is absolutely brilliant. And the pair of them really put on such a show there, especially Crowley. What a spectacular twat he is! It's just madness, and he's now decided that he's quite a lot of the people in the ballroom's god. So he's up to all sorts as always, and definitely somebody to watch out for. And a bit of shenanigans at the end of the match where he suddenly pulled out that boar mask from out of nowhere, didn't he? So that's something to watch if you haven't seen it. Watch that back on demand and see what he's doing there, because he's working his way through the animal kingdom, he said. So we'll have to see what comes next for him.
Yes, and that ball mask is very reminiscent to a former tag team partner of Mike Bird. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops, Mike. Yes, and say only Crowley understands what he's up to. Only Crowley understands what's going on inside his own head. Then, of course, we had Sky Smithson come out, had a fantastic match against Millie McKenzie, and tell you, two of the finest female performers on the Progress Wrestling roster, and they put up a fantastic match for the Progress faithful in the ballroom on Sunday. Looks like a wonderful ending, and Millie McKenzie setting herself up for possibly a shot at the championship in the future.
That's it. Well, she's trying to work her way through the Lon Austin experience. What a match against Sky Smithson. And Smithson, there were quite a lot of sexy Smithson chants at the ballroom at the weekend.
Absolutely.
And, she's worked very hard in the gym. And what a match she had with Millie McKenzie. Suplex. Millie was delivering them suplexes, though, at the weekend. And we'll have to see how she gets on Friday in Manchester as well.
Absolutely. And then a much anticipated match. I know that we were giving this hyperbole when we were hyping it up last week, and that was, of course, man like Doris and the Prince of Pace, Callum Newman, of course. But their one-on-one singles match didn't go too long. I think they had a double count out on the outside, and of course Callum Newman accompanied by Maverick Mayhew, and they turned into a tag match because Doris called down Driller, Dan Maloney, and it turned into a phenomenal tag team encounter between those four individuals. Like I say, everybody loves Driller. I don't think they were expecting him to be there, but when his music hit, the place erupted, and we had a wonderful tag team match, and very similar to when the 0121 and CPF had their classic encounter earlier on in the year for the same opponents that were involved in that match, and another encounter that's one to be remembered, and you'll have to watch it when it drops on demand very, very soon from Chapter 151, Mike.
Definitely, yeah. Love the Doris's new outfit that he had on for this show. Absolutely looking great in that. And obviously the ballroom goes wild for Doris every time. But that pop when Dan Maloney came out was extreme, to say the least. I know he put it on social media. It's like his hometown crowd every time he walks out at the ballroom. And it really was a massive reaction to him. Obviously the CPF guys just absolutely class as always. Prince of Pace, and they really delivered, and what a matchup to add to that catalogue there that them guys are having now. It's not the first time they'll battle, and hopefully it won't be the last. Hopefully see them in the ring again soon. And you can see how happy Mav was there. He was living the dream there.
100%. And
so happy to be back in London.
You know you're going to get a great match when any four of those are in the ring together. And then, of course, we had the current Progress Wrestling Atlas champion, RKJ, in the ring, cut a phenomenal promo in front of the Electric Ballroom fans on Sunday, and basically laid down an open challenge for this coming Friday in Manchester, the BEC Arena, and an open challenge for his Atlas Championship, Mike. So we don't know.
Atlas Championship, Jonas. Did you see how shiny that belt is? That's something pretty special, that.
It is a beautiful new belt. It's not just WWE that are unveiling new championships this week. Progress Wrestling are too, but a wonderful new design for the Atlas Championship. And RKJ has thrown down the gauntlet. We'll have to see who answers his open challenge on Friday in the BEC Arena, Mike.
That's it, exactly. And that WWE one looks slightly reminiscent of the Progress World Championship, doesn't it, John? Have you noticed that? does really have a look of it. I noticed that when I saw someone put a post out yesterday on Twitter with them next to each other, and it's very similar. Nice belts, very nice.
Absolutely. So that'll be interesting to see who takes up RKJ's challenge. You got to be a brave man to want to take on RKJ, especially now that he's the Atlas champion.
You know, and then, of course, Thomas, don't you? He said, "You think you're bad? I'm worse." That was RKJ's exact words he said this week, and that's how I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that. He's taken on all comers, he said. So who could show up in Manchester for the love of Progress on Friday? It could be anybody, mate.
Well, I did worry. I did worry for a moment because when I was working at the merch table, RKJ came over to me and said, "Johners, I thought he was gonna pick me as his next opponent, Mike."
He's got you on the list. I thought
RKJ, I'm not cut out for this. You know, I'm only 3 years away from 50. I'm really not cut out for this. But anyway, just come over to say hi. I did wipe my brow after that. But and then of course,
straight in yet, Jonas, don't worry.
Well, I'm going to Joel Redmond's school on Saturday, so you never know. He might teach me a few things.
Joel Redmond is the man. What a class act that guy is.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be filming there with the guys, and of course, Bullet will be there with the new recruits. But then we had the main event, Mike.
The Chokeslam, and we'll get that on film and be able to show that on next week's show.
Get into Chokeslam me?
Yeah. I hope so.
Only if there's plenty of matted areas.
Table will do for you.
Let's not encourage any wrestlers to beat Johners up, please. I have
Can we take Bullet in this and make sure he responds, please?
Let's not encourage, especially not Bullet. Have you seen the size of him? Blimey. Anyway, back to business, Mike. Enough about Johners getting beaten up in a ring by Bullet. Then we had that phenomenal cage match, and it will be a match that will go down in Progress history as one of the most, put it this way, it's capped off a 2.5 year long story. And what a way to kind of end this phenomenal rivalry that's possibly going to be described years down the line as the greatest rivalry in Progress history. You've got the Progress World Champion there, the Sovereign Lord, the Vulture, Spike Trivet, against the People's Champion, dare I say it, Cara Noir, in a terrific cage match, first ever cage match, history-making cage match for Progress. And I think everybody in the ballroom were on their feet watching that one from beginning to end. Everybody from the back were out finding a corner to stand in to watch that match. And it will be a match that won't easily be forgotten as far as Progress fans are concerned. Mike, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely amazing matchup, and obviously well deserved for these guys who've worked so hard. And the storyline has been absolutely amazing. The story they've told and the amazing athleticism from both these talents, and it is thrust Spike Trivet to be literally the biggest heel on the planet, I would say, at the moment. And of course, Cara, what's happened to him and how he's built himself back up, and then we've got this cage match in the Electric Ballroom on Sunday, and it's just an exclamation mark on this feud. It's just amazing. I think that's one of Rob Brazier's pictures, but great. Yeah. Talent to capture that moment so perfectly, and it just encapsulates exactly what happened there in the ballroom. And you've got to watch that one back just to see the reaction from the crowd. Just everything was amazing. The hype package that Jack and Al had made, building up that match before the video package for it and everything. Just the whole crowd, you could see literally everybody was standing on their feet, goosebumps, the whole lot, Jonas. Oh, yeah. And then as soon as that wrapped up, it was Swan Lake to send Cara out to the ring. And what a brutal and amazing matchup between them. Any match that starts with a handshake and then goes straight into headbutts has got my attention straight away. And it was brutal. There was a time in the matchup where I thought one or both of them wouldn't be able to continue with the match, and then they battled through. And what a match it was, and what a battle they had. It's one that is going to go down in the history books for Progress especially, and but in just wrestling in general, it's been one of my favorite feuds I've ever seen. And that match just it's one you've got to watch. You've got to watch it.
It was a fitting end to one of the greatest storylines in UK wrestling history, professional wrestling history. To be honest with you, you think of those amazing storylines that have had longevity and gone over a year plus, 2 years plus. More recently, in WWE, you were there at WrestleMania, the Bloodline storyline with all the characters that involved. This is up there on a par with that every inch of the way, and it has been phenomenal. And what a fitting, captivating match and ending to that feud. And obviously, if you sign up to Progress On Demand today, you can go back and revisit how the storyline between Cara and Spike started from back in the Peckham era, I understand, Mike, all the way through to last year, 2021, 2022, and into 2023. So a phenomenal storyline and a great culmination. And some of the matches, but I was there last year at Super Strong Style when they had the I Quit match. The thumbtacks, the tables, the violence, and that was barely the start of it. It's continued throughout, but
that's it. I've got
so many twists and turns.
That one on the wall there. John has got the poster up from Strong Style, and it started at the 10th anniversary, didn't it? When Ilya faced Cara, and then that was when Spike chose his moment to attack Cara, really triggered that feud off. Interestingly, as well, there was a special commemorative poster made for this week's show, which is just behind on the wall there, with the cage match, and we do still have some of those available. So make sure to check out the Progress store, and you'll be able to pick that up. There are still a few of that left available, so use this as your last opportunity to get that if you'd like a copy of that on your wall, because brilliant piece of artwork, and a big thank you to Elliot, a graphic designer who produced that one for us. Brilliant work, and some amazing stuff. And I believe there were some pictures signed as well, which are available on our store. So make sure to check that out. Loads of great Progress merch upcoming leading up to Super Strong Style as well. So keep your eyes peeled on that. You can own your own piece of history there.
Yeah, there should be some of the big maxi posters still available, signed and unsigned, which are, and once again, the poster that you just pointed out from Elliot Marriott there. But let's talk about For the Love of Progress then. Chapter 152, this coming Friday, from the Bowlers BEC Arena in Manchester, For the Love of Progress. Now, we spoke about a couple of the matches on last week's Hype Show, but we'll go through them again, including some matches that have just recently been announced. Now, this is a bit of a breakout match between two individuals that are both making their Progress debut, a real opportunity for both of these. And of course, you've got Rob Drake, who's doing some fantastic things in the north of the country, and likewise Brady Phillips, often credited as one of the unsung heroes of UK wrestling and one of the best wrestlers around, full stop. Both getting fantastic opportunities to appear inside a Progress ring for the first time. What can you tell us about these two individuals and about the type of match that we can expect on Friday?
Yeah, this is going to be a great showcase for both these individuals. Obviously, Rob Drake, someone I know so well. I've worked with James, his brother in the past, who's on WWE at the moment. And, interesting story coming out about him recently is, that his contract is going to expire in October from WWE. So who knows where he may show up. But this is a huge chance for Rob to step out of his brother's shadows. And, it's reminiscent of that Owen and Bret Hart story. The brothers are, it could happen at one point. You just never know down the line. But this is a huge chance for Rob to step out and show what he's all about. And I know this guy works so hard in the gym, and he's, such a talent. He's been good for a few years, but this is a real moment for him to show exactly what he can do in a Progress wrestling ring. And that's it's going to be huge in Manchester for him. And he's taking on another person I know so well, Brady Phillips, who is, as you know, a legit badass, Jonas. And this guy's
there's not a weak point in Brady's game.
Athleticism. He's somebody who's been all over the country, and this is his chance to shine as well at Progress. And it's going to be a tough one for both of them, because these are two legitimate athletes who are both brilliant competitors, and it'll be interesting to see on the night what happens between them and who can pick up the big win there between the two of these guys.
Yeah, two legit badasses, two legit guys that can go at it and perform at a very high level with many styles. And this is going to be, if you're not familiar with these two individuals, catch a glimpse of them at the BEC Arena on Friday, and you'll be blown away, and you'll be wanting more from them for sure. And then this match, which dropped just hours ago, Danny Luna, Raven Creed, at For the Love of Wrestling, Chapter 152. Give us your thoughts.
Well, from what I've seen, Danny Luna was trying to help Raven Creed and trying to help her battle past the Lana Austin experience and give her some confidence in facing Lana. And then, if anything, it seems to have backfired because Raven Creed has, didn't pick up that win that she wanted there. And then I think she's blaming Danny Luna for the situation that's occurred. And that, Raven Creed can be a bit of a strange individual on occasions, Jonas. And I think this is she's rewired this in a different way here, and is blaming Danny Luna. And I think all hell's going to break loose basically in Manchester. So I bring it on for me. I'll look forward to seeing what happens. But Danny Luna wouldn't be somebody I'd be one to pick on, to be honest. One of the toughest in the UK. And but Raven Creed, she's crazy, Jonas. It's anything could happen here. This is going to get messy in Manchester, I think.
I think you've described it perfectly there. It's going to get messy in Manchester for sure between those two. That's going to be an interesting one. And then, of course, we got this one here. Tate, obviously on cloud nine after the announcement on Sunday, which we'll talk about very, very soon, going up against Warren Banks. And I think these two have had a little bit of a war of words over recent weeks and months inside of a Progress ring. But this is going to be fantastic. And then Tate Mayfair's in a very rich vein of form. Warren Banks having just returned to a Progress ring. Like I say, both of these two have got a lot to prove, especially heading into Super Strong Style next month. And like I say, I think the winner of this one will definitely have the momentum going into that tournament.
Yeah, interesting that you mentioned momentum, because obviously Warren has just come back from this injury. He's not displayed any ring rust in what I've seen, but he's not had the momentum that he did have like at Super Strong Style last year, where he was really just bulldozing through the pack. And he since this injury, it has slowed him up a little bit. And I think if I was Tate Mayfair, this would be the time I'd see as my opportunity to face Warren Banks. Well, he's maybe not at his highest level of his game, but whereas Tate Mayfair's, you'd argue, is at the absolute top of his game at the moment. Even Nigel McGuinness had to say that Tateness is greatness this week, and
I think it was paid really off. I think Tate probably slipped him a tenner, to be honest with you, to say that.
Well, that could have occurred. Knowing Tate Mayfair's the way he's flashing the cash about buying silk shirts and all sorts of custom-made git clobber, it could have been even more than that. But interesting promo from Jerry this week that went out online. Definitely worth checking out on socials, where Jerry's saying that maybe Tate is more similar to him than even he imagined, but maybe that's why he hates him so much. Maybe that's he's spotted something that he dislikes about himself, and he sees that in Tate. So be an interesting one, this. And all I want to find out is who the referee is for that one, to make sure they keep an eye on that Tate Mayfair's, because he's up to all sorts, that lad. So
he likes the knuckle dusters, doesn't he?
Well, that's it, exactly. I've seen that before. If you make the rules and he'll bend them, that's the thing, isn't it?
I think this is the match that could really spark the blue touch paper for Warren Banks to get him back to the old Warren Banks, to be honest with you. If there's one opponent and one match that could do that for Warren Banks, I think this could be the one. And it couldn't happen at any greater time for Warren Banks, like I say, heading into Strong Style and wanting to be a part of that tournament. And then, of course, we've spoken quite a bit about Lio Rush over the last few hype shows. Of course, we saw him on Sunday in that tremendous opener. And of course, we're going to see him again on Friday. And this time a totally different opponent, a totally different challenge. Before, we've seen Lio Rush in the ring with the likes of a man like DeReese and Danny Black, and of course the three opponents that he faced on Sunday. Luke Jacobs, he offers a different type of competition, a different opponent, different challenge for Lio Rush, because I don't think Lio Rush has faced anybody quite like Luke Jacobs inside of a Progress ring, and he might be in for a bit of a surprise. But once again, a great opportunity for Luke Jacobs to prove himself against the caliber of opponents such as Lio Rush. But I'd love to know your thoughts. I'm very, very excited by this match in particular.
Yeah, Lio Rush has some amazing sort of aerial acrobatic abilities that I've not really seen from anyone. He's absolutely fluid in the ring, and has proved himself to be a brilliant performer of Progress, and both technically and just the speed of the guy as well. He moves about, but he's a bit of an enigma, Luke Jacobs, because this is one powerhouse of a guy who's he's former Atlas champion. He's tough, but also he's pretty quick himself around the ring, and he's got I feel like there's some untapped ability of Luke Jacobs that we've not seen yet. I feel like there's a lot more in his arsenal that he's not shown, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from him. And with it being his hometown crowd in Manchester, I just feel like he's going to have that edge about him. He's going to be buoyed on by his friends and family being there. And, this is a huge match for him, no doubt about it, to take on Lio Rush. He's one of the, he's absolutely amazing. He's one of the best on the planet. And, this is Luke Jacobs. This is his proving ground. He's got a chance here to go head-to-head with this guy and show, how tough he really is. So, it's going to be good in Manchester on Friday, this one.
Oh, you can see Luke Jacobs with the bit between his teeth, especially in his hometown, wanting to prove against an international superstar like Lio Rush. But like I say, can Luke Jacobs keep hold of Lio Rush long enough to kind of hold him down and punish him, or is Lio Rush just going to run rings around Luke Jacobs? It's going to be an interesting one for sure. Two different dynamics there. That's going to be a fun one. Looking forward to seeing that when that drops on demand. And then, of course, we mentioned earlier RKJ throughout that open challenge for his very own Atlas Championship this past Sunday. And in Manchester, Friday the 28th, we will find out who accepts or who answers RKJ's challenge. And it's not going to be me, Mike. It's definitely not going to be me. I've got no beef with RKJ. I've seen how hard he hits in the ring. But we'll have to see. That's a much anticipated match. But any additional thoughts on RKJ and what might happen on Friday?
All I'm thinking, John, is if it was you, that's exactly what you'd say.
Good point. Maybe it's my little smoke screen there, but I'm going to be firmly tucked up in bed by the time this match is happening. I can assure you.
The doors open at 6. The show starts. Jonathan,
I start work early.
I've seen you out past. I've seen you. I know they say don't feed you after midnight, but I've seen you out later than that.
And how about this one? This match was announced not too long ago when we spoke earlier about Millie McKenzie and her fantastic match that she had against Sky Smithson this past Sunday, working her way through the Lana Austin experience. Like I say, LA Taylor is the next obstacle, the next challenge from the Lana Austin experience that Millie McKenzie has to face this coming Friday in Manchester. Two formidable opponents, both coming off of a hot streak, both coming in with a lot of momentum and a win under their belt from Sunday. It's going to be an interesting match between these two because neither of them are going to want to lose this momentum, are they, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. And, similarly to when we spoke about Session Moth taking on LA Taylor, it's going to be a similar story for Millie, who's a hard hitter and, very adept at suplexes and, a brilliant talent. And it's going to be a real contest on Friday. Looking forward to this. Lee McAteers, who's just arrived in the office, was just cheering about the Lana Austin experience. He's hoping that they're going to be in trouble this week, but I'm more concerned about the fact that he's told me to order 1,000 earplugs for Lana Oak at the weekend.
You've got to think of the merchandise, Mike. And the reality is that nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to listen to Lana Austin sing. So if she's determined to do it, then at least let's try and make some money out of it. And that's the reason why we've ordered ear defenders, earplugs, you name it, anything that stops the sound.
Anything that stops the sound, he says, Jonas.
It's like perfect merchandise opportunity. Absolutely.
All progress merched up, ready for Manchester.
Brilliant. But I mean, on the subject of Lana Austin, and we did see Rio on the screen in the ballroom on Sunday. She did say she could very well be in Manchester. She's from that neck of the woods, and of course, she holds the key.
Rio, please save us. Millie McKenzie.
She won the Thunder Bastard earlier on in the year, but Lee McAteer, I could see you briefly there. I think we'll see more from you in a moment, especially when we talk more about Lana Oki.
But you never have a chat in a minute. But he's desperate for anybody, Rio specifically, or Millie McKenzie. He wants to be saved from Lana Austin.
Could it happen? And then, of course, we touched on this match briefly last week, but let's talk a bit more about it. You've obviously got the current and the longest reigning Progress World Tag Team Champion, Sunshine Machine, Chuck Mambo, TK Cooper, teaming up with Sanity, Big Damo and Axel there, going up against Bullet, the Progress World Champion Spike Trevay and the Smoking Aces. So that is going to be a pretty
what they
phenomenal.
called, sorry, Jonas, did you learn your Latin this week at all?
I before we hit the record, I actually had it on the tip of my tongue, and I was going to impress you, but I've since forgotten. So I'm not going to embarrass myself for 2 weeks on the trot. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
I believe Spike's group are called
Dominators
Reynham.
I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I
Well
got
done,
it
Mike
right.
Angus. 10 points for you. 10 points for you. 10 points for
Anything
you.
to help you out, mate.
I'll get it next week. But there we go.
Working towards it. That's it.
You're the only one that can actually pronounce it, apart from Bullet and Spike. But it looks like this is going to be a phenomenal main event between you've got the Progress Tag Team Champions as part of this match. You've got the Progress World Champion as part of this match. You got one faction, and like I say, 2 fantastic tag teams. This is going to be heavy hitting, lots of action, and it could spill out all over the BEC arena, couldn't it, Mike?
Anything could happen in this one, and there are so many factors in it, as you mentioned, Jonas. The fact that it's going to be Chuck Mambo's 100th match in Progress, the fact Sanity are recombining as a tag team again for the first time in a while. It's going to be really interesting to see Dominatus Reynham, where they formed in Manchester a couple of months ago. This is the first time they've all 4 of them been together again in a matchup. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how they function and what that's all about. And obviously Bullet, speaking on Sunday, mentioned that he's got a beef and a big problem with Big Damo. So that, there's all sorts of different factors in this matchup. And I just am so excited to see what happens with this one, because it's got the potential to be absolutely chaotic. And For the Love of Wrestling is meant to be happening on Saturday and Sunday, but this match could blow it all out the water. If this is chaos all over the place, the whole place might be destroyed by Saturday.
Wow, it is going to be phenomenal. And you have to kind of inform me, are there still tickets available? Can fans still watch Progress Chapter 152 on Friday in Manchester?
That's it. Yeah, if you're in the Manchester area or even anywhere in the north of the UK, there's tickets available on Dice. The link is on Progress on Twitter and on the Facebook page. Make sure you check that out. Click that link, and there's tickets still available for 152. It's going to be a busy one, but it's going to be a fun one. So make sure you're there. You don't want to miss all the action. And obviously, I'll bring Mr. Lee McAteer in now, because he's got something very important to say, Jonas, because I feel like it's time for you to make that announcement that we just heard before.
Wow, I will do. And this dropped on socials, and it's actually sending the internet into some sort of haywire at the moment. I think it's crashed Google, it's crashed Twitter, it's crashed Facebook. Instagram will follow. But on Saturday the 29th and Sunday the 30th of April at For the Love of Wrestling in Manchester, you will have Lana Oki live with Lana Austin exclusively at For the Love of Wrestling. And that brings us to Lee McAteer. The question is that we all want to know, Lee. The question is, will you be joining Lana Austin up on stage for a bit of Lana Oki on Saturday and Sunday?
No.
Lee McAteer, ladies and gentlemen.
Brilliant. I think they're going to do Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John and Kiki D, to be fair, between the 2 of them at the For the Love of Wrestling. We'll have to see what we can load up for them.
It will be like Jason Donovan and Kylie Minogue all over again. But make sure you get your phones out and record that. Whatever happens, it's going to be phenomenal. But that announcement has already broken the internet. But speaking of breaking the internet,
she still thinks she's singing the Eurovision entry, by the way. I was talking to her the other day. She still thinks she's doing the UK entry for Eurovision. She's got a song.
By the way, this is not a joke. We had the person who has written this year's Eurovision song attend Progress on Sunday for heavy metal. I am not even joking, Jonas. Hand on heart. And he actually bought one of the red T-shirts as well, randomly, red Progress shirt. And when I first heard it, I thought, this has got to be a wind-up. And then it turns out it wasn't a wind-up at all. He's in a very famous band. And I'm thinking to myself, someone is really ripping me here. But no. So Eurovision, Lana Vision, it's just like the joke that never ends. and now I've got LA Taylor bullying me, basically. And let's be frank about it. I don't want to mess with her. I don't want to mess with Sky Smithson.
No.
So it's, enjoy the ear defenders. We're going to sell lots of them. Oh, my mad dog. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah.
It's, you've got to be there to see it. progresswrestling.com/tickets. Be there, be a part of it, and go to For the Love of Wrestling. I think on top of all the fantastic names that are going to be there, you've got to be there to see Lana Oki. Wow. Unbelievable. That's going to shift a few tickets.
We're going to go from the most attended show at the ballroom for years and years and years to, truthfully, I mean, no one's going to come, are they? Let's be honest with you. So I'm sure the trolls will love that one.
There we go. Make sure you get your phones out and record that one. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see the footage.
Special moments. I think when Lee and Lana do whatever song it is they're going to sing, it'll be perfect. Perfect moment.
Fantastic.
I'm only doing it if LA Taylor bullies me. So just saying.
She'd be very persuasive of it.
Would you want to mess with LA Taylor?
No.
Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Literally, like I'm backstage, and then Lana's just like causing absolute chaos, and then she'll come to me with LA Taylor, and it's like nod and smile, nod and smile, nod and smile.
So back off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Safety in mind. We'll try and avoid any situations like that, but it's definitely going to be chaos in Manchester the weekend, and we are there for Progress all weekend and talking about Wrestle Tours as well. We'll be making sure to let people know how our trip to LA went, be able to tell them all about that. So there's going to be lots to talk about, and it'll be great to catch up with so many fans, and also there's going to be so many of the classic superstars there. So it's huge for Monopoly events for the love of wrestling. So it's such a great opportunity for the fans to meet, their favourites from the past. There's so many great people there. I'm looking forward to seeing Demolition again. Smash out of Demolition. Barry Darsow is one of my absolute favourite people to chat to out of the industry. Got so many stories of coming through wrestling in Minnesota with the likes of
maybe Repo Man as well, wasn't he?
Sing with Lana.
Hey, if we can get Smash singing, but I've heard that
I'd have to get smashed if I was having to sing it.
But someone's going to be singing.
Barry Darsow, I think he was Repo Man as well, wasn't he? One of my all-time favourite characters growing up.
Exactly. Well, Simon is a huge fan of Repo Man, so that could be something interesting. But talking about Simon as well, obviously he's going to be hosting the show at For the Love of Progress, and I believe anyone who's got a VIP ticket for the Love of Wrestling, when they buy the ticket for the Love of Progress, will be able to get a photograph with Simon in the ring at the show. So that's going to be something pretty special, something a bit different that we're doing at For the Love of Progress, and obviously there'll be a chance to chat to the king of ups and downs there, who we saw. He was in LA with us, obviously, causing. We saw him outside the cryptocurrency arena, and he was getting escorted away by security because of the mob that had ensued around him.
Wow!
So amazing stuff, but and he did a brilliant job as always. Shilling the merchandise on Sunday, letting people know about what was available. And so I think somebody did win his hat, John, as it must have come pretty close to you, that hat, didn't it?
Although I think I saw it, just kind of above the head of the crowd in front of me, but fantastic occasion. He's a wonderful MC in Simon Miller. Let's quickly touch on some of the announcements, if I can get my tongue around it, that were made on Sunday then, Mike, and all relating to Super Strong Style just around the corner. And as we mentioned, it's going to be Saturday the 27th from the Dome in Tufnell Park. We've got the first round of matches from Super Strong Style, and then like I say, WXW are going to be at the Dome also with a show directly after night one of Super Strong Style, and then of course back inside the Electric Ballroom on the Sunday and the Monday for the subsequent rounds matches and all the featured matches, and of course the final will be had on Monday the 29th, and of course WXW will be there on day one from the Dome in Tufnell Park, and of course Nigel McGuinness. He's going to have many different hats, many different roles over the 3 days of Super Strong Style. But it's going to be great to have Nigel McGuinness, like I say, with us in Progress over them 3 days, Mike.
Yeah, amazing. Well, what a performer he was, and great commentator as well, and always enjoyed his work on WWE. And then spoke to him briefly the other week, and he's got some new exciting projects, which I think we're going to be hearing about in the next couple of weeks. And one of them especially is this magic show that he's going to be doing, John, as I'm sure you've heard about this. Yes. And that is going to be part of the Super Strong Style weekend as well. So that was announced this week. So tickets are available for that now as well. And that, I believe there was a sort of secret behind closed doors show a couple of weeks ago, like a bit of a warm-up, which a few people I know went to and said it was absolutely amazing, something really exciting and definitely worth checking out. So, get your tickets for that as well. And make sure you're there for Super Strong Style, because we've already started announcing a few bits. Nigel made these announcements, and I tell you what, there's some things there which blew people's minds.
100%. And the first person announced for Super Strong Style 16 this year was the very first Progress World Champion, and none other than Nathan Cruz, making his return to a Progress ring after quite a while. But like I say, he's a changed Nathan Cruz to the one that we knew all them years ago, to the one that was the first ever Progress World Champion. And some might say it's the best version of Nathan Cruz that we've seen in 2023. And he's going to be a real handful and a fantastic competitor and a real contender when it comes to Super Strong Style this year, Mike.
Well, that's it. He was at Chapter 1. He won the staff at Chapter 1, Progress Chapter 1 back in the day. And he's, he was super talented then. And when I've worked with him in the past, he's absolutely been a show stealer right the way through. And it's brilliant to see that he's going to be back at Progress. It's going to be really exciting for the fans, especially to see him back and to see what he's morphed into. And I've seen him quite recently. And he's an interesting character, Nathan Cruz. So I think we'll have to see what he brings to the table at Super Strong Style. But he's, one of the top contenders in that tournament. Somebody definitely to watch out for. And, a wily veteran now, you'd have to say, Jonas. So, interesting what Nathan Cruz could bring to the table at Super Strong Style. It'd be awesome to see him there.
And everybody would agree with me when I say that Nathan's return to a Progress ring is very much deserved as well. And then, of course, how about this guy? We spoke about him earlier. Of course, he's got his match this coming Friday against Warren Banks at Chapter 152 for the Love of Progress. And he's going to be our second entrant into the Super Strong Style tournament this year. Will Tateness be greatness at Super Strong Style 16 in 2023? Well, they say you've got to be in it to win it, and he is going to be one of those 16 competitors this year, Mike.
Well, he's certainly in it. Will Tateness be greatness at Super Strong Style 16? When we'll have to see. He's got a tough match this weekend. He might not even make it past this weekend. He's got to take on the Nigerian Kaiju, Warren Banks. It's if Tateness makes it to Super Strong Style 16, that guy can do anything. The world is literally his oyster, and all he needs is that opportunity. That's all he needs. And I think you may see him try and grasp it with both hands. And if he can't grasp it with both hands, he'll probably try and use the brass knucks.
Who knows? He has been known for using those knuckle dusters quite a bit over recent chapters. And then, of course, we found out that another former Progress World Champion, Mark Haskins, will be making his return to a Progress ring in Super Strong Style 16 this year, Mike. Another formidable opponent, and has been winning championships all over the country, all over Europe, and now he's back inside a Progress ring and a firm favourite of the Progress faithful from when he was last inside a Progress ring. And I'm sure he's chomping at the bit, really looking forward to seeing what he can do. And like I say, getting one step closer to where he was before with Progress.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing about this one. The last time I saw Haskins in a Progress ring, I think, was against Walter, who's now obviously Gunter off WWE back, I think it was Chapter 78. And, he first appeared at chapter 7 as early as that in Progress history. And I remember another match around the early chapters, I think it was Chapter 9, where he took on Ricochet and Zack Sabre Jr. So he's had some brilliant matches in Progress. And, outside of Progress, it's somebody I've seen, wrestle all over the UK. Absolutely brilliant performer, so talented. And, I'm very happy to see that he's back at Progress and going to be taking part in Super Strong Style 16. It's going to be, a great homecoming for him. And let's see how he gets on in this tournament. And, as you said, the fans are backing him. When we spoke to the Club Progress members last year, people were saying, we want to see Haskins, we want to see Cruz. And then, they're going to be in this tournament. So make sure you get your tickets. Come and see how they get on. Come and see how they perform. And let's have an amazing weekend on the May Bank holiday. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But you need to make sure you get those tickets now because they are selling fast. And you do not want to miss this one. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
And there's also, John, as you've got to think, there's other names still to be announced.
Oh.
And, these guys are working so hard behind the scenes to bring you the best independent wrestlers on the planet. So this is something you're not going to want to miss whatsoever. Make sure you get your tickets now, honestly. And I'll just say there could be surprises in store yet. You just never know. You just never know. Anything
stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned to the Progress socials. And I'm sure you'll be getting regular updates every time a new announcement is made. And the first match that we know has been confirmed for Super Strong Style is this one here. The Clock Strikes Midnight match between Alexis Falcon, Nina Samuels, bitter enemies, bitter rivals, and it will come to a head over Super Strong Style weekend. And I think the stipulations are that every time the clock strikes midnight, the match changes stipulation. So it'll be an ever-changing match every time the clock strikes midnight, Mike. So we don't know what type of match we're going to get. And Nina Samuels might not know what type of match she's going to get until her match with Alexis at Super Strong Style.
Yeah, and you know what? It could. Interestingly, Alexis mentioned that it's going to have a grand entrance, and as well, when the clock strikes midnight, anything can happen. It might not necessarily play into Alexis's hands. It could play into Nina's hands. It could. Anything could happen, John. As you just never know. It could. And that match with the stipulations, you could see anything. I don't know if there'll be a coal miner's glove or anything, but that's maybe for the Seven Dwarves, is it, for that one?
Oh, fantastic. But looks like already the first match has been announced for Super Strong Style. Alexis Falcon, Nina Samuels, Clock Strikes Midnight match. That's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, another announcement from Sunday. This one here. So originally, Progress had a show planned for Sunday, the 27th of August. But, of course, AEW did their little announcement that they were going to be running Wembley Stadium for All In. So Progress is going to run a show the day before, Saturday, the 26th of August, alongside Defy, very well-known independent promotion from the US, of course, the Splendid and the Vile, and it's clobbering time, Mike, on August the 26th. That's going to be a lot of fun. Amazing. What a weekend that's going to be. We're expecting wrestling fans from all over the world to be in London for that weekend, and obviously we didn't want anyone missing the show, so we've put our show to the Saturday. It's going to be so exciting, and we've got Defy joining us. We met the guys from Defy out in LA, obviously, and they've put on some absolutely banging shows. It's one of the main events that caught my eye over there. Obviously, Swerve Strickland versus Nick Wayne. That's some amazing matches that those guys have had. And Nick is such an amazing talent, and Swerve will be about that weekend. You've got to think. So who knows what could happen in London over that weekend, but. Progress has got so much going on. It's exciting. And Lee McAteer wants to dive in and say a few words as well. Go ahead. He's excited about AEW as well. So I'll let him come in and speak.
No more Lana questions, John, as you've really put me off.
No, you're assured of that. You're assured of that.
Right. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about working with Defy. So for those of you that don't know about Defy, in my opinion, Defy is one of the hottest independent wrestling companies in the world. Nick Wayne's their current champ, beating Swerve in an absolute all-time classic. Obviously very well known for having superstars such as Jon Moxley. There was an incredible match between Nick Wayne and Will Ospreay. These guys are legit, and I've been speaking to Jim a lot, and I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. And the things that they've got planned for when they're going to be at the ballroom, it's giving me goosebumps even thinking about it. It is going to absolutely blow everybody away. So when you put Defy and Progress together for what we've got planned, this is a show that you do not want to miss.
And it's very, very important, in our opinion, that you don't just come to one, but you come to both. And that will make so much more sense as the year transpires. But I really suggest that if you're going to be there for what's going to be a real true celebration of wrestling with AEW, you really want to get your tickets in early. We've already had a massive uptake already for Defy and Progress that day. And we, of course, haven't announced anything yet. But believe me, with the people we're going to announce, people, you are not going to want to miss this. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And we've got some really big plans with Defy also for the rest of the year. So I, for one, cannot wait for that to happen. And of course, Wembley Stadium and everything else the next day. And you know what? Let's be frank about it. We hope that for the entire wrestling community, that AEW is a massive, massive success.
Yeah.
We're having some great chats behind the scenes of those guys as well. And really excited to what will be a fantastic weekend of wrestling. And I am so excited because right now I think the scene is on fire. You've got sellout shows all over the place. And let's be frank about it, we're all wrestling fans and we all want the talent to succeed. We all want everybody to have a good time. And what a better way than to really support not just the talent, but to give the fans what they want. And the fact that there's so many amazing people, oh gosh, honestly, I really want to be able to talk about that. And also who were working very closely with Nigel McGuinness about Super Strong Style and what and who may be on that show. It's a very, very exciting time for Progress and for everybody else. And also a big shout out to Jeff Jarrett, who I've been speaking to a lot recently. What a legend he is, by the way. The more I speak to him, the more I learn. What an amazing guy. I just hope he brings his guitar over with him potentially that weekend. But anyway, sorry to interrupt, but that's something I'm very, very excited about.
That's great.
Remember, guys, it's clobbering time. It's not singing time. It's not
August the 26th. Tickets are available now for both shows. You've got two shows, 12 noon and 4 p.m. And just go to progresswrestling.com/tickets. It will transport you to the Dice FM app and we can get your tickets for the love of wrestling, for the love of Progress, Super Strong Style 16, and of course the Progress Defy show in August the 26th. It's clobbering time, Mike, but we've covered a lot of ground today. We've spoken about Chapter 151 and what a phenomenal show Heavy Metal was, and we've looked ahead to this coming Friday in Manchester, the BEC Arena, for the love of Progress and the phenomenal talent and action and matches that have been announced there. And we're looking ahead to Super Strong Style, and we're already looking ahead to August as well. So so much to be had, but it's just one place to go, and that's progresswrestling.com/tickets to get your tickets or tickets today. Say so much amazing action from Progress Wrestling in 2023. So get your tickets today. You will not want to be that one that misses out. But Mike, best of luck with the show on Friday. I may or may not be there, depending on whether RKJ is anywhere near me at the time. I will probably come in disguise, just so that he doesn't kind of pull me into the ring. I don't want to get anywhere near him and that Atlas Championship. Thank you very much. But I'd say it's going to be a fantastic show and a very exciting future for Progress.
Great stuff. Loads coming up, John. As I've tagged back in off Lee now. And I was just going to say once again, well, you'll be on merch on Friday anyway, won't you? So have to rope you in to help out again. That was amazing. Once again, a big thank you for that. A big thank you to everyone who attended Chapter 151 Heavy Metal and sold out the ballroom. That was an amazing, amazing day. And we look forward to it happening again next time for Super Strong Style when we're there. And of course, we are so excited to be at For the Love of Wrestling with Monopoly Events. And of course, Friday, it is For the Love of Progress. So make sure you get your tickets now. Do not miss this show. It's going to be crazy. And it's great to be back up north, obviously, and do a show for the Manchester audience and a lot of, friends and family who are about who can come and enjoy the show. And it won't be long till we're back down in London with you guys as well. So, look forward to seeing you then. A big shout out from the Mad Dog to Johners. And of course, thank you to Mr. Lee McAteer for joining us on today's show.
Lee.
And he did so well. He did so well not to give away any surprises that he's got up his sleeve, because there's not just Nigel who's a magician about, but Mr. Lee McAteer as well is a bit of a magician there, with his surprises. So he did well not to tell you too many of those or anything. And John, it's great to chat to you as always. And we look forward to seeing everyone Friday in Manchester. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy Lana Roki.
My name is Warren Banks, and I am back.
It's Warren Banks! Warren Banks is back in Progress!
Warren Banks, you decided to return tonight. You went on your big return. And when did you decide to do it? On my time. Of course, the biggest stage, the biggest moment that you could ever get a hold of is sharing the ring with greatness. First day I turned up at Progress Wrestling, I wanted to show the world how great I am. And I have. I look good, I smell good, I fight good, I knock people out cold.
When I look at him, I see elements of me. And I think that's why I hate him so much. So when I look at Tate, right, I don't see Tate's potential. I see me at my worst. And when people are confronted with their flaws and their failures and stuff, like a lot of them run away, they get mad, they'll flip the table over and leave the room. For me, it's like, I wanna stamp it out.
People hate me because they're jealous. You're jealous. The fans are jealous. Tateness is greatness, and all of you are just struggling to deal with it.
Warren Banks got the pin! So good to have Warren Banks back. Whoa! Tay Mayfair's! Tay Mayfair's!
Where did he come from? That's not okay!
No.
Those brass
No,
nuts.
not the hand of God. Tay Mayfair's, what have you done?
Yeah, the nugs. Maybe a little unsavory on my part. But like I said, no one knows what it's like to be me. No one knows what it's like to grow up in my shoes, do the things I've done.
I need you to do me a favor, Tate. I need you to find somewhere in that big heart of yours, if you're so damn good, I need you to look me in the eye and fight me.
You don't like me, you don't like the way I do things. You're a hypocrite. These people are fickle. This time, I'm gonna tell you, clear as day, mate. I'm coming for you, and I'm going to knock you out cold. Can you see what happened out there? Just like I said I would. I told Warren Banks I was gonna come up to you. I was gonna look you in the eye, face to face, just like you asked. And I'm gonna knock you out.
If I get rid of Tate, if I beat Tate, I beat every negative trait I have wrapped up in one irritating gnat of a human being.
The whole world is against me, and you all have something to say about the way that I go about things and do things. I found out how to succeed in this life. And it's not my fault that you can't keep up.
I'm checking the unchecked Tate. That means you.
You said you want to dance. Well, the date is set. The band is ready to play. And me and you are about to stand across that ring one-on-one. You do not have the killer instinct. I do.